Hey guys, it is Patrick. Before you get started with understanding debits and credits as well as how to do journal entries, I wanted you to know that if you go to my website at www.patrickleemsa.com, you're going to find links to all 8 lessons in this series. So if you get turned around or you don't know what the next lesson is or how to get to there, you can definitely go to my website, click on the next lesson, and it'll take you right back here to YouTube where you can view the entire lesson. Also, in the description section below, I've put a link to where you can purchase the notes for this series so that you can just sit back, learn more about debits and credits and doing your journal entries, and you've got the notes right in front of you to follow along. So head to my website at www.patrickleemsa.com to purchase those notes, as well as see all the links for this next 8 lessons in this Understanding Debits and Credits and Journal Entry series. Until then, let's get going with your lesson. All right, in this lesson, we're going to be talking about the basics of the debits and credits. What do they actually mean in accounting? And this is going to set us up for understanding how we utilize debits and credits, specifically for journal entry preparation. So let's take a look here at the basics of debits and credits. So in accounting, accountants analyze an economic event and classifies them into different accounts in the accounting information system. Now, the way an accountant classifies an economic event is through debits and credits. So you might have heard debits and credits when you're talking about accounting, when you're talking about reports that you might have received from the accounting department. We use the terms debits and credits as a way to classify those events in the accounting information systems. So really, at the end of the day, debits and credits are simply the language that accountants use to classify. That's it. So it's kind of learning another language. When your first language is, let's say, English, you got to learn the translation of an English word into Spanish or Japanese or Chinese or any one of the multiple languages around the world. We got to do the same thing here in accounting. So it's a language that we use to basically communicate with other accountants. Hey, do this or do that for a transaction. So, with that being said, what does debit and credit mean? Well, whatever you think debit and credit means, I want you to take that out of your brain for a few minutes and just understand this translation of debits and credits. Debit, all that debit means is left. Debit means the left. Debit means left. That's all it means. Credit, on the other hand, means right. Credit means right. Credit means right. That's all that credit means is right. So I always joke around that, if you're in a car with some friends going out to, McDonald's, you can just give them directions using debits and credits. Like, go down this street, and then when you get to the next light, make a debit. And then you're going to go down 2 lights and then make a credit on that second light, and then you're going to get to Main Street and make another credit, and then you're going to do 2 credits right after that, and you'll hit that McDonald's. Sounds kind of weird, but you get my point, right? Debit means left, credit means right. That's all that really means, okay? So if I say debit to accountant, they know it means left. If I say credit to an accountant, they know that means right. That's all that it means. Debits and credits do not mean up or down, increase or decrease ever. And the reason why I bring this up is there's this this notion that debit means down or up, or credit means down or up. And the reason why we get that notion is probably through your bank or through your credit card company or credit, okay? So when you think of your bank, they might go, oh, I'm going to debit your account. I'm going to take money out of your account. So that means decrease, right? Or they're going to say, I'm going to credit your account. I'm going to put money in your account. That means up, right? Not necessarily. It doesn't mean anything, really. All it means is that the bank is going to debit your account and credit your account in accounting terms. Now, I don't have a lot of time to talk about this, but when we talk about the next session, you're technically a liability to the bank. And because you're a liability to the bank, when they think accounting-wise, When they take money out of your account, they're going to debit your account in accounting, and they're going to credit your account in accounting when they receive money from you to store it in your bank account. It's a little bit complicated. Well, it's not too complicated, but it's a little bit complicated to talk about at this point in time. But just remember that debits and credits only mean left or right. They don't mean up or down, because you're going to find out in some situations a debit might be up. In other situations, debit might be down. And in some situations, a credit might be up. And then in other situations, credit might be down. So we want to blow those definitions out of your mind. And just remember, debit means left, credit means right. Now, where does this come from? This is where it comes from. The notion of left or right comes from the techniques of T accounts. So I don't know when, because I didn't look up the history, but at some point in time, we classified all of our accounts using T's, meaning that when a transaction happens, we would do a journal entry, and then we would take that journal entry and we would organize them into T accounts. And every account has a T. So cash would have a T, accounts receivable would have a T, equipment would have a T, and in those T accounts, we would keep track of everything that we did with that account. So if we quote unquote debited cash, we would then reflect that debit here on this T. If we credited cash on the journal entry, we would credit the T here. So that's kind of where this left-right language is, because in these T's, the left side of the T would be the debit, the right side would be credit. That's where the debits and credits come from. So if I gave you the cash T and I said, I want you to debit that T $500, you're going to put the $500 on the left side of the T. That's all it means. Now you're probably looking at this and going, what are these other areas? This is where the balance would go. So all the transactions would happen within this inner, and then all of the ending balance. So we might have multiple debits and a couple of credits, and then we would have to then summarize those. Once we summarize it, we would put the balance here or here, depending on what happened. Beyond the scope of this, but just wanted to walk you through what a T account looks like. So debits and credits just means left or right, comes from this T. The T analyzes all of the transactions associated with this particular account and summarizes them, because at the end of the day, what do we want to do? We want to be able to summarize every account balance so that when we prepare the financial statement, we know how much cash the company has. When we do journal entries, it's just a whole bunch of journal entries. We got to find a way to organize them so that it becomes useful to the end user. We do that with a T. So that is a look at debits and credits. Very basic. Debits means left, credit means right. That's all that it means. So hope you enjoyed this lesson, and we will see you in the next video. Hey guys, thanks for watching this lesson. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking over here. And for more accounting content, make sure you head to my website at www.patrickleemsa.com or clicking over there. And for the next lesson, just click right over here. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video.